Hello, everybody. Happy new moon, which is actually at its peak right now as we speak. Now, I'm gonna start with the astrology. Again, God, I look like sunburnt with this light on. It's really weird. Sorry. I'm not this colored. There's something really weird with the light, but that's what's been going on all day. So this new moon, at its peak right now. The other day I tried to do the reading twice. I actually went through the entire thing twice, and both times my computer broke. And I was supposed to do yoga before. I was going to be late here a little bit because I was supposed to do yoga. And my yoga teacher called me at the last minute, which she never does, to cancel because she just couldn't, she didn't have the energy to face the class. And actually, I myself today have been completely like eating constantly, desperate for energy, could not find any energy. So if you found yourself today to be like completely, totally drained, you are not alone. This is a very, very powerful moon. And it sort of ties up the readings we've been having for the last couple of weeks. We had one a couple of weeks ago, which was talking about being pushed to the brink. We had one about not winging it and about paying attention to numbers. And you'll see, and I'm hoping this works. I've been trying to figure out, I had like a broadcast platform thing, but it takes 24 hours to hook up. So I'm gonna try and show you, you can see a little bit. The app, the chart itself as we go through the numbers. But what I've picked up from the people I've been talking to today is that if you know what you want, right? If this is a period in your life where you've been pushed to the brink, you've been working on leveling up, and you're ready, then this moon is like that extra kick that you need, that sort of like wish on a star that you need to really launch you into the next level. If you don't know what you want, then this moon is going to make it very uncomfortable for you until you're forced to take a look, right? And it's going to push you to the brink, and you're going to have to do some soul searching, do some, yeah, it's the really weird lighting. I don't know what's going on right now. But it's going to push you to the brink to force you to do some soul searching, to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I deserve? What am I doing? Now, so last week's reading talked about paying attention to numbers, right? And looking for the signs in the numbers. Now, I'm going to try again. Let me try and hold this up here. This is the chart. The ascendant here is at 22 Scorpio. It's drawn for Italy. So in the US, in New York, I think it's 22 Virgo. But today is May 11th, and Mars is at Cancer at 11. The North Node is at 10 Gemini, and Mercury, which is ruling the North Node, is at 12 Gemini. Uranus is at 11 Taurus. Chiron is at 11 Aries. And Saturn is at 13 Aquarius. So that's one whole giant conversation. And then we move to the 22s. You know, and these are both the holy numbers, the 11s and the 22s. So the ascendant here is 22. We have Pluto at 26 Capricorn. We have Jupiter at 29. So he's a little bit out of bounds. He's one of the only planets that's like not directly involved, but he's at an anaretic degree. So that's also the Jupiter at the anaretic degree of Aquarius is what's pushing you to the brink on what's your hopes and dreams? Like, what do you want? What are you wishing for? That's what's really giving us that kick. Then we have Neptune at 22 Pisces. We have the sun and the moon at 21 degrees, between 21 and 22. Obviously, the ascendant and the descendant at 22. And so they're all in another conversation. And then there's Venus at 3 Gemini, she's widely conjunct the North Node. It's 7 degrees. It counts. It's not that tight. But So there's two major conversations going on. There's the one of all the planets going on at 11 and all the planets going on at 22. And the Sabian for the degree where the sun and the moon are is a dove flying over, like courageously flying over very choppy waters, right? And it's an interesting image because Taurus is the most stubborn sign of all the zodiac. It's fixed earth, so like good luck getting it to do anything it doesn't want to do. And yet the symbol that we have of this moon is a mix of air and water. And so that already tells you that there's something a little bit different about this moon. Now let's talk about the planets that are at the 11 degrees, right? So we have the Mars in Cancer, which frankly, Mars in Cancer for us is shit. It's a really bad placement. It'll have us like one day, like for 20 minutes in a day, you're extremely productive, and then you literally can't get out of bed. You don't want to talk to anybody, you just want to eat. It's not our best placement. But it's sextiling Uranus in Taurus. Now, I did this meditation, it was a group meditation on Saturday about it, and I kind of got images for each one of the planets and how they were working and interacting with each other. And so there's one thing about Taurus. Taurus is like Taurus has super game. When they want to be charming, there's nothing you can do. They will charm you to death, right? I was going to say something a little vulgar, but I'll skip it. And they can be elegant in their movements. They can say all the right things. Then, you get them and they never get off the couch, but that's a different story. But this North Node, so there's the sun and the moon conjuncted there in Taurus, which is about our life's pleasure, right? What brings us pleasure in life and what we value in ourselves, but also in terms of money. It is our solar second house. So this is actually a very nice place to have this new moon land there. And so it brings you a new vision of your values, what you value, things that you value, or things that are of value that come to you, the money you earn. And we have the Mercury North Node, conjunct the North Node, and Venus in Gemini. Now, Venus in Gemini is fun, flirty. She wants to party. She wants to have a good time. She wants to meet the people. And Mercury in Gemini, which is his domicile, conjunct the North Node, very, very powerful. This is a moment that if you are starting a business, if you're looking for a job, if you're wanting to meet people or you want to get into a new relationship, go out and meet the people, shake hands, make dates, call them, put on that Taurus charm and get out there, shake hands, talk to whomever you need to talk to, because with the North Node and Mercury right there, the destiny is going to come through the communications, and it may be within your own community, it may be online, it may be through school, it may be through children, it may be through gossip, but either way, the destiny, what's pulling you towards your destiny is going to come through the connections that you make right now, who you're talking to. And then we have this energy from the sun and the moon of that Taurus, of the pleasure, being able to sort of like sweet talk our way through things. And so that's kind of, like I said, if you're starting a business or if you have to like go do talks and stuff like that, embody that energy, sort of smooth talking Taurus people out to shake hands on the scene, ready to be met. And then on the other hand, we have this, so the image that I got of Uranus was kind of like the crazy professor at the chalkboard, right? Like I had this nutty, he was like literally a stereotypical physics professor in high school. He was 6'5", had hair all over the place, glasses that were this thick, and you could barely understand a word he said, but he was absolutely brilliant, right? So that's kind of the Uranus at the chalkboard, and he's sextiling Mars, and so I got this image of kind of like Mars sitting down at one of those student desks nearby. He couldn't get up. He wasn't like incapacitated, but he's weak, he's tired. Mars can't get up right now. So he's he's feeding back into what Uranus is coming up with, all these kind of crazy plans. Well, what if we did this? And what if we did that? And what if we thought about it this way? What if we made money over there? Or what if this brought us pleasure? Like thinking out of the box, out of what way our life could actually be pleasurable to us, or what values, what new things we value in life. And then we have Chiron in Aries. And Chiron kind of came into this conversation like a very worried, kind of anxious, been hurt in the past, doesn't want to get hurt again. Kind of like that guy who like got hurt by his first girlfriend and then treats all the rest of the women like shit because he doesn't want to like deal with that wound again. So he's coming into the conversation, and as Uranus is like brainstorming out of the box on this like sort of future pleasure principle, Chiron's like, well, yeah, but be careful. What about this and what about that? And the image that I got, that the inner child in all of us that's freaking out a little bit, especially if we're moving into new things, needs a hug. Like really needs like a hug and reassurance that it's going to be all right. Now, sextile again, because then we go over to Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn, who I usually don't like, anyone who's been following me for a while knows Saturn's like my least favorite planet. It's super buzzkill, but I really like him in Uranus, in Aquarius, because he's there to bring a little bit of order to the insanity. And so the vision that I got of Saturn being there was that he's like sort of like the father saying to Chiron, like, it's okay. You got this. You can do it. Like, we're working it out. There is a plan. I'm working on it, and I'm working together with Uranus to fix it. And even though Mars and I aren't seeing things on the same eye, we're at least like fixing each other's plans. So all of those planets are really working together in harmony. Sorry, let me just look at this chart again. Since this one's taking, oh no, here it is. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So they're all working together, like laying down the groundwork. And then we have this incredible Sun and Moon conjunction, sextile exactly Neptune at 22, which to me is like fairy godmother energy, because the Sun and the Moon are like, we want this, and Neptune's like sextiling. It's like, I got you, but hold on, I just have to check with Pluto, who's 2 doors down, a little bit to the left, but let me check with him. And Pluto comes back and he's like, yeah, it's cool. Not only that, but I'm gonna do one up. So whatever it is that you want, you'll not only you'll get actually better than what you expected. If, because with Pluto there is always a sacrifice, if you're willing to relinquish something that is currently blocking the energy for the new thing to come in, right? So you can't get a fabulous new job if you refuse to leave the other one, or at least put yourself into a mind space to move into something else. So until you let go of the thing that you do not want, you can't bring in the new amazingness. And this is what's causing all the tension right now, and why my poor yoga teacher has to cancel, because she's in an emotional puddle right now. Of course, she's a Gemini, so it's in her 12th house, so way worse for her. But we're being pushed to the brink of, what do we want? What makes us happy? What fills us with pleasure? What do we value? What do we value in ourselves? What are we worth in this world to each other? What are we building? What are we leaving behind? Like all those Taurian conversations around there. But this is, this is what I wrote in the post the other day, is that since it was like 3 days beforehand, which is the balsamic moon phase, and that's a great time to make wishes. So under this moon, we're now on the growing side, the waxing side of the moon, because the new moon has already happened 15 minutes ago. So now is the moment where it starts to grow. And so I would invite you after this, or whenever you have time this evening, to really maximize this energy and say out loud, because it's all about the communications, right? Because that Mercury is conjunct the North Node. Speak what it is that you want what it is that makes you happy, say it out loud, write it down, tell a friend, tell a psychiatrist, tell somebody, but it must come out of your head and into the 3D material world. It has to be born into your community in order for it to happen right now. So it can't just sit in your head like, oh, one day I'm going to do this. Oh, this would really make me happy. Verbalize it, write it down, put it on like a little, I don't know, like a mood board thing or a vision board that you have, but make it real. Bring it into your 3D existence. Take it out of your head and into reality. Ground it. Make it Taurian material. Okay. I think I've said everything. Now we can get to the cards. So I'm going to tilt this down and hope that it doesn't fall and make a huge mess. It's extremely tilted, sorry. And let's start with the reading. Okay, under this new moon, what energy is this new moon bringing for Aries? What energy for Aries under this new moon? What's the energy for Aries under this new moon? Okay. Completion, right? Pushing you to the brink. Got to get rid of something for something new to be born. Time to let go of something, so let the sun set on one thing so that you can move forward into something else. And it doesn't have to necessarily be, and this is like that sort of energy that I was saying that my yoga teacher has. She's really in, you have to also say, when you move into a place of having new or realizing that you haven't been respecting yourself or haven't been treating yourself with the value that you deserve, there's a moment of like also mourning there. That's that kind of Chiron in Aries. Like, like I really just need a hug right now. And what this is saying is let it go. Let anything that is part of that past that's getting in your way, that is no longer alive, it's not part of your future vision, let it be released. And it's no longer time to mourn over it because it's time to move forward. Now let me get the challenge energy here. Right? And just because things are over doesn't mean they were bad. It just means they're done. There's this great, I always forget his name, and it kills me because I cite him like 1,000 times. There's this great rabbi, and I know I've also told anyone who's been watching me for a while knows this story also, that he talks about the challenge is the playfulness. He talks about leveling up, right? He talks about the lobsters, and he says that in a lobster's lifetime, it will change shells like 2 or 3 times. And what happens is the shell starts to feel really tight around it, right? Like boxed in. And it just feels discomfort. And so it crawls off into a protected space. It throws off the shell and it waits for the new shell to grow. And he said that the beauty of this is that the clue that it's time to level up and that it's time for a new shell to grow because the old shell is too tight is the discomfort. And so it's the discomfort that pushes us into a whole new dimension. Think of like the death card, right? The Scorpio card. Now this is the challenge energy here. We may be having a hard time to be a little bit playful. Looks like some of us may be in a very sort of emotional space. That's completely understandable. Mars is in Cancer, to be expected. Just think that the Cancers feel like this all the time. So, at least be thankful that we have like a month off every year. So yes, you might want to watch, not necessarily watch your space, but it's a transit, right? But there is a transit. It's a transit that's meant to push you into a sense of feeling discomfort. So you will look for something better. So you will look for something new. You will look for something that brings more value to your life, that you value more. Can I get the lesson, please, for Aries? these two cards tend to always come out at the same time. So this is Freya, the phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are being revealed and released, okay? And so she's under there at that full moon. We're obviously at a new moon, so it's a different cycle. But it talking about starting a whole new chapter, a whole new cycle. And I know that one of the women that I work with energetically mentioned that we opened up like a whole new karmic hallway, she called it, a couple of weeks ago, putting to bed a 7-year cycle, which is also a Saturn transit. So some of us are saying goodbye to very specific periods in our lives that are now over, and it is okay to leave. But sometimes we can also get like a little bit addicted to and stuck to the old energy. But there's so much like newness and awesomeness that wants to come in. We just